Hi, we have a lot of patients coming in these days because of TMJ. So what I want to do is I want to spend a few minutes just to kind of clarify what TMJ means or maybe doesn't. So TMJ is basically means the jaw joint. It means temporomandibular joint. It's the actual joint that connects the lower jaw, what you call the mandible, to your skull, and that joint is right in front of the ears on each side. Everyone has two TMJs. So you have one on the right, one on the left, and they connect on each side with the jawbone, also called the mandible. So think of the TMJ as a body part, like you would your knee joint or your elbow joint. And unlike most joints that work by themselves, we have our right elbow, our left elbow, our right knee, and our left knee. With the TMJ, there's one on the right and there's one on the left, and they're connected by that bone, the jaw. So we can bend our knees and our elbows because we have one on the right and left sides, but our jaw joints are even more interesting. So the jaw joint, it can rotate. So think of that's where the jaw joint is. And as you open a little bit, the bone rotates kind of in a socket in the base of the skull. We call that the fossa. So here's a diagram. The front on the left is where your nose would be. The back right side is where the nose would be. Here's the front side of the head. This is where the ear would be. And here's the jaw joint. This yellow right in here represents where the cartilage would be. So you know how in our knee and our elbows we have cartilage between the bones. And we all know that if your cartilage goes bad in your knee, then that's not a good thing. So we do have the cartilage, same kind of setup on the right and left joints. So let's imagine that there was a rod that went through that jawbone. And as we open and close just a little bit, that part of the bone just rotates. It stays in place and it rotates. So we call that rotation. It's a movement kind of like a hinge where the jaw is rotating around a fixed point. But then the jaw gets even a little bit more complicated because not only does it rotate, but then it translates. And that means that that center point actually comes forward when you open really wide or if we move our jaw to the right and left sides. So that forward movement we refer to as translation. And it allows us to speak and to chew and to move our jaws in different directions. So this is what rotation looks like, right? So that little fuchsia area is staying put right there. And we're just rotating around a point. Well, when we open really wide, now this jawbone is traveling forward, and along with it should come the cartilage. So that's what we call translation when we open really wide, like you see over here on the side. Then to make it even more complicated, in that area where the jaw joint is, which would be right around here, we have a lot of blood, nerves, we have a gland here, we have these muscles, bone, the ear is right in that area, and the vestibular apparatus, which is an organ in our body that senses our balance, is also kind of in the same area. So what is TMD? When you're having issues, pain or dysfunction that affects the joint, the TMJs, the muscles or the ligaments around that jaw position, the more appropriate term would be TMD, which means temporomandibular disorder. Think of TMD as the condition of the TMJ or the joints. So we have a knee, which is like your TMJ, but then we can have a knee problem, which would be TMD. We can have shoulder, which is the same like a TMJ, the joint, but in that shoulder we could have pain, and that would be more descriptive of TMD. So I hope this kind of makes this very complicated subject a little bit more clear. And when you talk to a clinician, you have a better idea of what we're describing and what we're talking about. So go see your dentist if you have TMD. And a lot of us do today because we're clenching and grinding so much. Thank you very much.